वेलकम गाइस टू एमयूएससी रेड डेविल एनसीआर। मैं हूं आपका होस्ट एंड दोस्त पुलकित। टुडे आई एम जॉइंड बाय अभिशार भाई, अभिजीत, Saksham and Vaibhav. Today we are going to do the about review about the game of Manchester Derby, which is between Manchester United, which was between City and United at Etihad, and the scoreline was 6-3. So let's start with Abhishar bhai. So Abhishar bhai, welcome to the show. And what was your on take on the first half of the derby?
Hi, welcome guys. It's my very first time. Let's get started. So for my take, if you'd say me that I've been disappointed with the first half, which was giving us a glimpse of the timid United, which used to be like the version which we used to lack confidence, what we could see in the end part of last season, or when Ole was getting sacked, the United was we were not very brave on the ball, and even off the ball we were not giving the proper chase. Though that somehow comes to the part of our defense. So because our defense is not giving us confidence, so we are not going higher on the pitch at the first place. But yes, that part was not good because I still feel how like ETH want us to play. We are not playing in that way. He tried that process to ingrained in us in the first couple of matches, and then he understood that we are not that good with the ball, like making short passes and running. Those things we were not doing very comprehensively. So that has impacted. Even for the second half, you would say that maybe City has turned a bit they mellowed down. They have turned a bit softer on us, maybe you can say in that way. For the second half, they've made a multiple substitution. We have seen players who we have not seen till now, even in PL. I guess that there was a that their youngster Palmer has come, so he has not made debut yet, I think, in this season. But like my point is that they have put the a bit of break on us, which has given us a space a bit. So that was the like honest opinion. We were not brave enough. We could have taken many more chances, and yes, we are not clinical as well.
Coming to Vaibhav by next. So Vaibhav, welcome to the show too. And Vaibhav, as we know that the second half was something like, City was offering us a free gift to score the goals because they totally, done the substitutions, and they scored enough in the first half, so they were chilled that okay, now it's your time to turn the tables. But do you feel that there were some chances in first and second half too that our attackers could have finished, or we could have done the proper crossing from our fullbacks? Because to be honest, a blunt question, our defense was totally changed this time. Now we can't say that there was no Harry Maguire or Luke Shaw or Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So asking you this question, that what's your take on it now?
Hi, Pulkit. First of all, thank you everyone. My first show, and my take on this. Let me give you the direct quotes of Eric Ten Hag, and this is exactly what resonates with me and Eric Ten Hag. From the very first minute, the tackle, the yellow card of Dello, nothing seemed to go our way. I mean, with derbies like this, we just cannot turn up like that. We talk about, yes, second half United pulled back, but then again, I think City sort of took it easy because City also knows that they've got a Champions League ahead of them. They've already won the game 4-0. They're at home, and I feel Pep Guardiola must have told the players, you know what, guys, just take it easy. They're not going to turn the tables around, and we did see that because. It's not that we came back in the second half because we were the better side. It's because City sort of cooled down a bit in the engine. I mean, with the defense again, the problem just does not lie simply with Harry Maguire or Luke Shaw or anyone else. I think as a collective, we need to sort of take responsibility and see, yes, how we are going by things because Lisandro Martinez. I mean, Lisandro Martinez has been a good signing. Varane, injury prone but good. Dallo has shown improvement. Malacia, young signing, adapting to the league, shown improvement. So again, I mean, we would have these offbeat results. And let's not forget, a lot of these players were part of humiliating defeats in the past seasons. So they have got that mentality, I would say, where the heads drop and shoulders drop. when they concede or when they're like what 2-0, 3-0 up, they do not have that mentality to go out there and attack and sort of turn the tables around. I mean, I think it would be wrong just to it would be very wrong just to say that the defense was at fault, because I feel from top to bottom, from the midfielders, from Sancho, Rashford not pulling back, from Sancho and Rashford not supporting the wing backs, even Paul Scholes. In fact, Paul Scholes posted in his story that there was a time when wingers came to help their fullbacks.
Mhm.
So it just underlies the problem ahead of United. I mean, we talk about new recruits, we talk about new recruitment. I would just like to throw an example: Manuel Akanji from Man City. What a signing he's been! I mean, to show him in a Manchester derby, I mean, a very, very intimidating game. And the guy plays like as if he's a duck belonging in the water. He just fits the atmosphere like a glove. And guess what? The signing is just for 17 million quid. Absolute steal. So I think the reason why we question the work ethics of these players is a lot, as to, for let's say in instance of Harry Maguire, the most expensive centre back. Well, it's not his fault that he's the most expensive centre back, right? But then again, a lot of the questioning and a lot of why as to these players are performing bad or these players are not performing up to the price tag. A lot of it goes down to the recruitment as well, because if we don't
Mhm.
recruit players of let's say somewhat like a Manuel Akanji or another Gen, who could be the next big superstar. If we just simply go for these Rolls Royce big signing, and that too, if we just do it in a period of a stopgap, like there was that summer where you got Pogba and everyone. Then there's next summer where you're completely quiet. I think we cannot make progress because that City side, as mentioned before me, is relentless. They're just monstrous. I mean, they are just going to get better and better. And for United
Mhm.
to go toe to toe with them, we need to bring in recruitments. We need to take some hard calls. It just does not lie with the defense because a whole team is at fault, I believe, and hard calls must be taken by Eric.
So coming to Abhijit now. So Abhijit bhai, just say like Weber when Abhishek told us very well that how City were dominant and where United missed the chances. How good was City despite playing some of the players. This one player which I want to talk about who was absolutely loved by City and Etihad fans and of course by the FPL fans who had their captain. It's Erling Haaland, the striker itself, had an hat trick, gave 2 assists, and of course with Phil Foden also. What a bright talent he is for City, to be honest. What do you want to tell about them?
You have to appreciate the Pep Guardiola's tactics actually, because KDB, Foden, Haaland, Silva, Gundogan, they were absolutely brilliant in the performance yesterday. And now talking about, we were discussing yesterday that United that they had a very weak lineup because they were missing Rodri, their main centre backs were missing. So we were in the optimistic mindset that that City can be wrapped up. But hats off to the Pep because he has really made the tactics, and we just outperformed by them. Actually,
Mhm.
Haaland, he is the best striker for that City because they have got that missing piece which Pep was finding for more than a year or 2 years. There, uh,
Mhm.
and looking at that Haaland's performance, uh, he uh, he was literally bullying the defenders of United. That KDB pass, or you can say that Foden's pass, that were top notch. If you have seen the second or third goal of Haaland, he
KDB assist in
created
Haaland's goal.
he
Yeah,
assisted
that
in
one I
that
remember. I
so
remember.
much
Yeah.
small space where he operated very very smoothly and he scored the goal. That type of striker he is. You can't pick up any striker from in any in the world that he operates in that small space and he scores the goal. Definitely he
Uh,
has outperformed here.
for example, like point to be noted, like even my father was watching the derby yesterday. He was like, "Who is this guy? He can score from anywhere." And I told them that this is what a number nine is actually. Number nines
Yes,
are not meant to make the play; they were meant to finish the game.
yes,
उनको
yes,
जैसा assist मिले in defeat, they have to finish. We are seeing with Robert Lewandowski in Barcelona. We are seeing
yes.
in Haaland in Manchester City. So we can see that these are type of number nines which every club wanted. That we have a playmaker who can assist you, but we need someone who can finish. And that what
Yes.
United was lacking yesterday.
Yes.
We know that Marcus Rashford was the player of the September. We were happy that okay, he will get a good run. But let's face it, he also likes to play in a winger role more than a striker. And I thought that if Marshall could have been fully fit, we could have played him because he's been good, doing good. But I feel in upcoming window we need a number 9 on whom we can rely for at least 20 goals a season, to be honest, or at least a 15 to 28. So coming to the next, it's about David De Gea, and it's to Saksham. So Saksham, we all know David De Gea had a one of help performance. He made some saves in the first half when we were 0-0, but then we saw that he was also opened a lot. There were many goals which can be saved, but De Gea just gave up on it. So what's your views on it?
I think to put the blame entirely on De Gea is not correct, but because the way we were playing, we were so open. There was no midfield. City was just entering our box, and they were just controlling the game. They're making training passes in our box, and that is not acceptable. Like, you need to defend, you need to put a shift in. This player didn't turn up. But about David De Gea, he made some good saves, which he is used to. But again, he is against one of the best teams in the world, Manchester City right now. He's against one of the best striker in the world, Erling Haaland. So how many saves he can make? Like, you, a keeper, or like, he can make a save, but if you bombard him with a lot of shots, a lot of chances here and there, how long can he save it? And he doesn't give that Hollywood saves like he used to do. He goes here and there, he dives and saves it. But how long will he do? Like, everyone was running around. We take the ball, we take it forward, and we just lose the ball. There was no control, there was nothing. And I like to point out something about Erik Ten Hag as well, that why do managers in general wait for halftime to make some changes? If we conceded, we conceded 3 goals under what minutes, if I remember correctly?
Point to be countered, Weber. Weber, I want this point you to counter it, that like what Saksham Bhai said, that Erik Ten Hag should have made the changes earlier. Do you think that he was waiting for the 45th minute to change because he doesn't want to get the players' morale down because they were playing their first derby? Some of them were playing their first derby.
I think, Pulkit, here I need to be very blunt. You're up against probably the best team in the world, not just in England, right? And who do we have in our bench? Like, let's just be blunt and honest. We do not have what it takes to face a team like Man City in the home ground in Etihad, right? So I feel Erik Ten Hag didn't want it to create a panic situation, right? I mean, he wanted basically. I'm sure he must have thought, what, after 2 goals now, maybe if we can just scram it to the halftime, and maybe we can have a chance of a comeback. But then again, when you see Scott McTominay or Varane got injured, that's another point we noted. When you see somebody like a Scott McTominay or Eriksen having that sort of an atrocious game, who's there in the bench? I mean, as a manager, if I look at the bench, I only have Fred, right? I need to literally change Bruno, Eriksen, and Scott McTominay. It's just the fact that it's alarming that there is just too many loopholes in the first team. As a manager, you just cannot go out there and change 5 or 4 or 3 players in the very first 30, 40 minutes. It just creates a panic situation. And again, we know with these players, I mean, they have downpooled a lot of times. Past seasons, if you remember, Leicester, Watford, Tottenham, Liverpool, last year Man City. So, as I said, a lot of hard calls need to be made. We need our bench to be strong. We need our bench and our first team to be parallel to at least a Man City, so that we can give them a game. And the worst part is, look, losing is part and parcel of the game, but then to lose in that matter, it's just not acceptable. You've got teams like Crystal Palace, who I'm sure are not as good as our first team or the bench, who go out there in Man City, in Etihad, and give them a game. When the first team players are downing tools like that, I just don't know what I mean. The manager can do the least, at that situation. So I think Erik Ten Hag has pretty much his hands tied around his back for now.
Avishar, I have this question. It's pretty quick. That like Ronaldo was sitting on the bench, right? we all expected that he will come in the halftime, and replace some of like three of them, like either Rashford or either Sancho. But we saw that only one attacking change was made. That was Anthony Martial. So, do you feel that Eric Ten Hag still feels that like he said in his quote, that I don't want to get him on in last 15 minutes because of his respect that he has that whole career. But do you feel that he should have made, maybe Ronaldo's having that hard patch, but come on, he's the greatest player of all time, and maybe against City he could have got that boost in that finishing we were looking, because we saw that crosses were happening lately in the second half.
So, thing is that again, I'll go back to the first place of getting that team. If you'll see the 45 minutes or maybe around 60 odd minutes, you'll see that Rashford was not at his best. Okay, so maybe because he was carrying some niggle or something, or maybe he's not there 100% mentally. I'm not very, very sure about what was the issue. So, what I understand correctly is that if you are seeing, first thing is you need to understand your first 11 players. Okay, these are the 11 players that we are going to play. And if you are not seeing them, being them individually 100%, okay, we could observe that Rashford was not 100%. Maybe we should have given chance to Elanga and then called Rashford in between. But pushing him into there and seeing him underperform, that did not help either team or Rashford. That has not helped anyone. Okay, it would have been like we got battered. We cannot ignore that fact. So it's better to take that way. Maybe I would have taken the 45 minutes of Elanga and then 45 minutes of Ronaldo, then having that Rashford 70 or some minutes with like next to null performance. Because we have seen the stat, there was I don't know, a stat was circulating that Rashford and Sancho has a pressure of around 15 or 16, and Anthony alone has like pressures of 18, 19. So that does not help. If your starting 11 are not running, then it will be not helpful to anyone. It does not matter you bring Ronaldo or anyone, but if you are putting a team which is not giving 100%, then it's not going to help anyone. Getting 4-0 down or 5-0 down would not help.
So coming to Abhijit, like it's one of my last questions for this. That now Varane is injured. We have a next Europa game. Then we have some couple of tough games also. We have Everton, who are having a very great run in defense. And we all know World Cup Varane is injured. So Harry Maguire or Lindelof have to come with Martinez. It's a tough call for Eric Ten Hag, but he said that I trust Maguire because he said that he's keeping Harry Maguire as captain. Like it didn't got changed, though Bruno is captaining, but as an official, if you see, Harry Maguire is the captain. So you feel that this guy is going to get the shot, or he will try with Lindelof only, because he finds that Lindelof is a perfect suit with Licha itself. Because the first two games was with Martinez and Maguire. So now he got that understanding.
I think Harry Maguire's injury is about hamstring, so I don't see he will coming so very easily back early, because, and also Varane's injury was not also very bad. Samuel Lecrest has stated that it is not a bad injury, so he may come early. Varane, after I think will be in Newcastle games, I would say. But I would see Lindelof playing there, and probably Casemiro coming into the scene, because we have to cement that position, and we can't afford any exposing of midfield yesterday, as we were exposed literally yesterday by the City midfield and defense, because they stretched us totally, and that really they made spaces around the midfielders. You see Ericsson or McTominay, they were just stretched us too wide by the midfield of City. So definitely I will see Lindelof and Martinez gelling up. I want to see something that chemistry, but it's going to be Lindelof, definitely. We can't afford Jones to be there or Tuanzebe playing there. Definitely it would be Lindelof only. Harry Maguire is...
So coming to the Saksham at the end. So Saksham भाई सबने अपने views दे दिए. हमें पता है आगे जाके like Lindelof and Licha ही खेलेंगे as per Abhijit भाई भविष्यवाणी. So let's hope by you. So Saksham, what's your take on upcoming matches and upcoming draws? मतलब what's your points? मतलब तुम अब कितने points लेना चाहोगे in coming fixtures में? Like how much you're expecting? Like to stay in top 4, we need at least 15 points तो रखनी है हमें season. We lost to City, हो गया deduct 8 points. So now upcoming matches, you feel that now Erik Ten Hag got his reality check, so now he can see what's best for him.
Yeah, so I think like I don't count the Omonia game. Like we need to win both of those games to secure a safe spot in the Europa League. We need to win both the Europa League fixtures against Omonia. In the Premier League, I think we can like grab points against Everton. They are not like in a very good role. Against Newcastle, I think it would be a tough game, but we will narrowly win, and that sort of stuff will continue down the road. It's not magic that Ten Hag will completely revamp his style and like his philosophy just after losing to Manchester City. It will take time. We will have some losses as well. We will some grinding out results as well. Against Tottenham, it would be a very good game to see like how like Ten Hag approaches the game. Like it needs to be like as Ten Hag says, game after game. And this October month is very, very crucial for us. So let's see. I hope we bounce back from the City result, because I don't see a Ten Hag team as of now, after like 2.5 months of him being in charge. The players somehow take some blame on that, but I think they will continue to grind out results until the World Cup in January. If we have some recruitments and some more coaching, we can like play in the Ten Hag style. But even if we get into top 4 and a good Europa League, like we qualify in the table, so I think let's keep grinding out results until then, and let's grow step by step, because it's like Rome wasn't built on one day. Let's grow together, and it's better to grind out results than to lose points. So let's see. I hope for the best.
True. So coming to the end of the discussion, it was really nice talking to everyone. We had a good review. We talked about what injuries are. It was really happy to see Abhishar and Vaibhav joining first, then also Saksham plotting their points pretty true. And Abhijit Bhai Tahi, our superstar, always puts great points. And it's great to have you guys. Hope to see you next in upcoming screenings and talk shows. And see ya. GGMU. Good night, everyone.
GGMU, guys.
GGMU.
Tough day, but